We are here with Chaya Lev, otherwise known as BrownSugarJew22.
That's me. Hi guys, so sorry we're late. Listen, we're Jews. We must be late. Come on. What Jew shows up to the party on time? Come on. You should expect us to be late.
I'm very happy we are here now. And just checking to see if we're live on Instagram. I don't know. It hasn't worked yet, so I will be very surprised if this worked now. Something about, I don't know, just not happening. Anyway, I'll post the link from the YouTube in our story later. And so right now we're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook, hopefully on Instagram. Not really sure. Okay. Excuse us. We'll wait one more moment while Chaya applies her lip gloss. Very important.
Gloss popping. I'm so excited to see and talk to all of you. You're so amazing. I'm so sorry we're late. Oh my gosh.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so why?
I'm black and Jewish. Black and Jewish. I was supposed to be late. Okay, come on.
Isn't that a song? I think it's a song. Black and Jewish, Black and Jew. You probably sing it better than me. So Chaya made Aliyah in what year did you make Aliyah?
2016.
And let's start from the beginning. Let's go all the way back to, baby Chaya. Baby Chaya. Baby Chaya was not named Chaya when she was born, right?
No, I wasn't named Chaya. I actually chose Judaism. I converted. What a blessing and a treat.
Amazing. So you're not only an Olev, you're not only a citizen by choice, you're also a Jew by choice. So many things to respect.
We should all choose it, right? We should all make
this great decision. There's something to be said for that. Yeah, I really have immense respect for anyone who chooses any of his life, whether it be Aliyah or being Jewish. It's pretty incredible. You're a pretty strong and amazing person. So tell us, where were you born?
So I'm from California. I'm born and raised in Southern California. I'm from Pasadena. And so I was in Pasadena, and then my parents divorced, and then I moved to Texas with my mom after failing all of my classes. My mom was like, "That's it. You're going to Texas. You're too fabulous. You need to do a new change."
California just couldn't contain you.
So I mean, listen, I'm after my sister, who is like right now working on her double master's and PhD, and my brothers. And I went to school at Blair High School in Pasadena, and the teacher was like, "Are you sure you're like part of this family?"
I have two older brothers like that.
And then I'm not following in the educated footsteps. I'm an artist, right?
You're creating your own footsteps.
I'm my mother's 9th child. She's like, thinks I'm a little off, but whatever, that's her own thing. So I just kind of walked and marched to the beat of my own drum, as now still the same.
Always.
So yeah.
So how old were you when you moved to Texas?
So I was like, so my parents were divorced, so I had to go back and forth, but I was officially about, I guess, 11th grade.
Okay. So later. So you were growing up in California mostly.
I'm a California girl, 100%. And Texas was strange because I never grew up in the South. My dad is actually from Mississippi. My dad was military. My mom's military. So they're Southerners, but for me as a young girl to move to the South was weird. Weird in itself. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Though military, usually they're all over the place, right? They don't really call any one place home.
Yeah, they don't call one place home. And my grandfather was military. He lived they lived in Germany for a while, and my dad was military. So I mean, and even my nephew now, he's like a Green Beret type of military. So we're definitely military people. We just have a broader perspective of where we need to be or what we need to do in life. You know what I mean? So
right. So you had from what to choose since you were exposed to so much. How give us a little, one half a minute of how you came to Judaism, and then we'll talk about your Aliyah.
Wow. So first of all, I was born. My mom was Methodist and Catholic. She was born Methodist Catholic, and then she converted to Jehovah's Witness. Girl, somebody came to the door like, hello, are you want to be? While
It
she got
actually
her way,
worked.
whatever.
It
Yeah, and
worked
my
one.
mom was like, girl, yes, because I'm the baby of 9. So she's like, I've done enough. I want to do something new. And so I was actually raised Jehovah's Witness, which is really crazy because I was raised we went to the Kingdom Hall about 3-4 times a week and Bible studies. And so I was raised in a way like really religious. But I was never Jehovah's Witness. Let's keep it real. I always was still like my mom asking questions. Like I was a baby Jew. I was like baby Moshe.
Very appropriate for Passover time.
And someone now, Allison said, how long did the process take? I'll tell you about that, girl. Listen. And so, actually, when I had my son, I married a Texan because, of course, I moved to Texas. And I was like, first of all, I put my son in a private school, in a better school. It was a Christian school. And they asked all of the parents to come and be part of the narrative. And I never, I'm not Christian. So it was tough for me to sit there. And I decided, you know what? I want something for my son that I can believe in, that I can stand it behind. And for me, Christianity wasn't it. Not saying there's anything wrong with being a Christian, but for me, it wasn't it. So I talked to my ex-husband who was raised also Christian, but he was like, he grew up poor and from the hood. He's from the ghetto. He was like, God wasn't there for me. We had to eat cornflakes when everybody was eating chocolate chip Cheerios. I don't know. I mean, come on, let's keep it real. Everyone wants to blame God for their poverty, for their shit, excuse my French. So he was like, do whatever you want.
You promised no swearing.
Oh, for my stuff, excuse me. So I started searching and I had a friend, I worked at a Veda, I'm a hairstylist, and I had a friend that was Jewish. She was Asian, and she's still Asian. She's one of my best friends. Her name is Faye Metzger. And she invited me, and I was always, even I got married under what looked like a chuppah, and my son is Noah from birth, Noah, and all these elements of being Jewish, my thought process is completely, I'm 100, let me just shut my, hold on, let me just shut, I live in the hood, I live in Yaffa, hold on.
We'll hear from Chaya soon. You'll tell us where you're living.
So I live in Tel Aviv Yafo, and I live by the stadium. So they're cleaning and getting ready for a football game. Sorry. So I talked to my ex-husband at the time. I'm divorced, and I said, I'm Jewish. I feel like really comfortable being Jewish. How do you feel?
Hold on. There was somewhere there. How did you know? Like, where is it from?
Where's it? First of all, when you convert to Judaism, and I tell people all the time, asking a person that converted to Judaism is like asking, so why were you born? You don't know why your parents had sex and you came here, right?
Right.
You don't know that your parents went on a nice date, had a glass of wine, and boom,
got married, and
it's very, very similar for us that converted. Like, we just are. Hashem wakes up our souls and our spirits and says, come home. This is the story of the Jew. This is the story of our people. The first Jew was a Jew of choice, Abraham. He went from Avram to Abraham. So there's just something that happens in you accepting who you are as a human being. And so
you've had to be exposed to it at some point, and
no,
to
that's
be
not
like,
true.
no,
that's a thought process of someone that's not Jewish. You had to be exposed to some. There's people that have never seen a Jew in their life that have converted. There's no. I'm not watching other Jews saying, "Oh, I want to be Jewish." Gefilte fish, come on. You think I want
to? Who would choose that? I hope you chose Sephardi if you already chose.
No, I mean I'm Mamash Ashkenazi. I'm Afrikazi. I call myself I'm Ashkenazi Afrikazi. Come on. I'm as Ashkenazi as you can get. In many ways, my son is actually, he's very, also my son, I started converting when he was 8, and the rabbi that I chose was very, very smart. You can't take your child to the mikveh after 3, right? Everything in Judaism, the number 3 is very important for many reasons. And so he had to wait. So, but he was introduced to the Jewish community, and when all of his friends, since he's 8, he's in the Jewish community pretty much, and all of his friends started having bar and bat mitzvahs, and he was like to the rabbi, "What about me?" And the rabbi was like, "Let me talk to you about this. You're not Jewish." And so he said, "Sababa." So he did everything that he needed to do. He did he was already circumcised, so thank goodness. He just had to do the celebratory prick or whatever.
Little snip.
And he went to the mikvah the same way I did. So
and he was given the choice, meaning he also had to choose.
He also had a choice, but he was in the Jewish community.
Right.
So, but a lot of people
What kind of community were you in at the time?
So I was in Dallas and Temple Shalom, but it was a Reform community, but I don't really prescribe to any community. If you had to say in Hebrew, I'm really Masorti. I'm very traditional, and this is why I am part of the Chabad movement. First of all, I believe that every movement in Judaism is important, but I'm a bit more traditional. I keep kosher. I am, I'm a little bit more. When you're educated, you tend to dig a little deeper. That's it. But I wear bikinis. Sorry, Rabbi.
It's all good. We're not here to judge. We're just here to listen. So, okay, so cool. So from how old's your son right now?
He's 22.
Wow.
I'm 23. I'm sorry. I'm off.
All right. So between raising your son in the Jewish community and making Aliyah, when did that start?
By the way, my son was part of Shifty Nifty and BBYO, and he did everything that he needed to do to be part of the community. So he went to Green Family Camp in Texas and stuff like that. So for raising him and being part of it all.
Lock, stock, and barrel. Gotcha.
Jewish as we can be, I guess.
So then where was your moment of, okay, so now I'm a Jew, I should be living in Israel?
So when I made Aliyah, actually when I converted to Judaism, I told the rabbi, first of all, my rabbi was a Reform rabbi, but that was raised Orthodox, okay? So he's really tough. And he was really important. He was really mindful of Judaism as a verb, and you to do Judaism. And when you would convert to Judaism, it's not like I woke up and I was born Jewish. I made a conscious effort and choice to allow my soul and my body to be connected. So everyone knows the person that chooses Judaism is Giyul, or the convert. But we are not converts. We are Jews that converted. I want to be really, really clear. Really clear, even though we have Obadiah the convert. That is a legal term. We are Jews that did a process.
Jews first.
He was like, it's a verb. So he put like the fear of God in me, but I already had it anyway. And
wait, who's he?
My Rabbi Jeremy Schneider at the time. And he's now Rabbi Temple Kolami in Phoenix, Arizona, I believe. And he said, you know what? You have to think about your neshama and the journey that you took to get here. And so I said, well, Rabbi, and so he gave me the 3 times. We're denied Judaism 3 times, and a lot of people don't agree with it, but I do. I do. I think that you should have some type of sincerity to join this group of amazing human beings, amazing tribe. And I said, one day I'm gonna make Aliyah. I'm going to live. We say every year next year in Jerusalem at our Pesach table. It's in the table. We say, I'm gonna live in Jerusalem. I'm going to make Aliyah. He laughed in my face. He said, Jewish people that's born, Jewish. Come on, you have work to do in the U.S. Tikkun Olam. I said. And he was right. Where would I go? I was a business owner. I was a mom with a young kid, a family, but I got cancer. And it's like Hashem said, let me just help her. Because when would I come? And I got cancer, and I decided this is the time.
Hold on, Chaya. I want everyone to hear you, but your connection isn't great. I can hear you, but you frozen. Is there somewhere you can maybe move a little closer to your connection, to your...
Can you hear
a little
me
bit
now?
better? All you did was move your screen, girl.
You said get closer. I was like,
Soon you're gonna start banging on. Also, does this work? Can you hear? Oh, that's much better actually. So never mind. Don't mind
moving
me.
closer. That's the Jewish thought process. Okay, guys. Can you hear me though?
Yep, you're green. 10 out of 10, all the way. Just like you
So
should be. Okay.
you asked, I answered. So yeah, so I told him, I said, I'm gonna move to Israel. And
And he laughed at you. Nice.
he
What's
laughed in
this
my
guy's
face actually.
number? Give him a call and tell him to stop
He
laughing at
actually didn't
perspective.
he didn't actually fill out my paperwork. He didn't want to. He told me when I, was ready to make Aliyah, Rabbi Schneider, if you're there, I see you. And I was really angry with him because he felt that there was work to do in the U.S. And I said, no, I want to be in Israel. I want to be 100. I feel like maybe a trans woman, like when people say, I'm a woman, but I want to be myself, and they do some sex change or something. And I know I don't want to appropriate the trans community, but I felt like to move to Israel was a big part of me being 100% myself.
Well,
To
it's a
me,
transition, so you are allowed to
it's
use that word.
a transition,
It's a big transition. It's
So
a
here I
large
am,
transition. Yeah, but here
and
you
I'm
are.
cancer free, Baruch Hashem. But yeah,
Amazing. Thank
yeah.
God. Thank God. And were you sick when you got to Israel when you made Aliyah?
No, I was done. I had my last surgery 1 month, actually maybe 3 weeks before Aliyah. But I
Wow.
got to tell you, this is a great story, and I'm gonna just run through it really quick.
Please.
My really good friend, my best friend, her name is Toba Reifer. I was getting chemo. The second session, I had about 8 of them, chemotherapy. And the second session, I can almost cry. I usually do cry when I tell the story.
Go ahead. It makes for
I
much
said,
better engagement.
I said, God, first of all, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this. If I make it through, I understand you brought me home. I'm going to go to Israel. And the next chemo must have been my first session. I was on my computer, this very computer that my girlfriend gave me, actually. I was on the computer, and Nefesh B'Nefesh popped up. So I'm a huge fan of Nefesh B'Nefesh.
What do you
It
mean
was
we popped up?
it
And
was
where?
like
Were you Facebook?
oh no, girl, the Nefesh B'Nefesh gods
I
popped
just wanted
up,
to know if
girl.
I was
Listen.
responsible.
I was, because when you go chemo, you're there for a few hours. Like 4 hours is a session for chemo, right? And
Uh-huh.
so I'm sitting there with my blanket because you get cold, because they have to do, anybody that's knows about chemo knows it's a whole process. And I was on my computer, and up pops Nefesh B'Nefesh, make Aliyah to Israel. I swear to you. My friend Toby Rifer knows the story. And
I got to make my colleagues in the marketing department watch this one. This is
I
one for the
said,
books.
no, seriously. I said,
Okay.
I'm going to make Aliyah. I told the rabbi one day, and my friend Toba helped me. So it popped up. I started the application for
Yes.
Nefesh B'Nefesh, and then I finished it out of chemo, but it was in my chemo. And I swear to you, a lot of people don't realize my connection with Nefesh, is it just came from nowhere.
Wow.
And I felt like,
had you ever heard of Nefesh B'Nefesh before? I mean, Aliyah, people understand moving to Israel, but wow.
No.
Right.
And it's so emotional for me because,
wow.
God, just to.
That's huge. I can quit now. My job is done. Wow.
To breathe and to know that there was something fresh, and there was some movement in my moments. And so I always say that cancer for me didn't bring me this darkness. It brought me this light. It opened up an opportunity for me to move to the next stage in my life. And here I am. And on the plane, I was, I met some girls in a Black and Jewish group. They saw me off. They met me there from Philadelphia, New York, and they met me and saw me off. And one of the women, both of them converted to Judaism. One is Haredi. She's had some issues with the Muncie Jewish community. I'm all snorting, but girl, her name was Lakeisha Frankelstein. Girl, she, black and Jewish. Lakeisha Frankelstein,
She
Leah
kills her name.
Finkelstein,
Love it. Love it.
and she's an attorney. And my friend Debrasha McCants, her daughter Katie, actually Debrasha also chose Judaism. We were kind of a group of women, and Debrasha's daughter, she was born Jewish, I guess, and she lived in Israel and she served in the military, and she really felt like, we are pushing you. We want to support you.
Right.
And it's just, and actually, if you look on my Instagram, she's a photo, and she, it's just so many good moments. But Nefesh B'Nefesh was part of my cancer journey, and it's really, really interesting. So that's why I'm so in love with Nefesh B'Nefesh. A lot of people close to me that know that this was like a thing. It just popped up on my computer like a spam, just like when you shop and something pops up, when you shop and you look and you speak, it's like the
Right.
first, pop up. So yeah,
Right.
and I'm
Right.
lying, but yeah.
I love it. I love hearing this. That's so cool. Very cool. All right. So you did it. How long did it take for you to start the process when you saw this
To
pop
convert?
up? Yeah.
Oh,
No. To
so
make the actual Aliyah.
so
To make
2
Aliyah.
years. My son was I see someone just said, where are you living? I live in Tel Aviv. I live in Yaffo.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 years. I took the slow road. And yeah, and wow, and my son actually was going. My son did Taglit. He
Mm-hmm.
made Aliyah. Taglit, and so we actually came together. So we went to New Jersey together, New York or wherever we flew from, and he was going to the or birthright, as they say, and went where he went, and I went 2 days later. I spent a little time with my friend, or the next day later, and I got on a flight, Aliyah.
Amazing.
Well, you know what?
Wow.
My phone is, yeah.
This is amazing. Okay, so you stepped off in summer of 2016?
Yes. Yeah, I came in August. I was going to come in October. And also my friends that made Aliyah rushed me. They were like, Haya, get here. They moved. I've had so many pieces of the puzzle to create this Haya madness. My friend,
Wow.
I'm naming names. I'm like the mafia. We don't forget, and we naming names. I'm giving everybody up. My friend Shoshana, who was in the north, she made Aliyah maybe 4 or 5 years with her husband before she's now divorced and now newly engaged, and she really pushed me to come before. And I made Aliyah in August, but I was supposed to come in October. And I did my pilot trip, and my pilot trip, the minute I didn't kiss the ground, I got to tell you, but the minute I got off the flight, I said, I'm home. I felt like I was home, period. And I felt the need to be here. I needed to be here. And I can't describe it. I can't explain it. I wish every person that is Jewish had this connection to the motherland the way I did. It changed my life. And I met, let me tell you once again, my really good friend Blimmy. I met her on the pilot trip. I took Turkish Air, and she's a Haredi. She lives in Williamsburg, Muncie, I think. And we became friends, and we're best friends. We're really good friends to this day. And I said, I don't want to go to Jerusalem. I want to wait until I move. She said, Chayala, meet me. I'm gonna be in Jerusalem. And we came, and I met her in Jerusalem, and I'm gonna send pictures. I can send pictures. I have receipts for everything. And I got on the thing. People were like, "You're not afraid." I never was afraid. Jerusalem is my favorite city. I've never been afraid. It's home. It's home. It's not. I'm not. First of all, if God forbid anything were to happen for me, my family knows that I'm Israeli. I'm to be buried in Israel first of all, this body here. But I felt like if something happens to me, I'm home. I don't care. And I operate my life like this. I don't want anything to happen to me. God, I have so much drama to create for the next Hashem, he knows. But never have I felt like I navigated Israel from the front like I am living here. Israelis telling me that I'm more Israeli than them because it's home. So when I was at Nefesh B'Nefesh and it says, where's the hummus? Home is where the hummus is. I had
Home is
those
where the
little
hummus is.
cards and make it home.
Mm-hmm.
It is home. I made it home. I am home. This is not, I'm not a stranger. I'm not a visitor. I've never felt a visitor here in Israel. I felt from the minute on my pilot trip that I'm home.
That was
and
your first time.
My first time, but it felt like I was returning. And let me tell you, my shaliach, which is the person that helped me in New York. By the way, I went to New York. Everything behind me, my friends have stood behind my family. I went to New York and I went to my to take a trip, and I went to my shaliach in Nefesh B'Nefesh the Jewish agency in New York.
Jewish agency.
And my shaliach told me, first of all, when you make Aliyah, first of all, I told him I was going to Hadera. He laughed in my face. Everybody laughs in my face. I feel like I'm just a big ass joke. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, Hadera, you Tel Aviv. With me, on me, all of it. And I'm okay because I take a good joke. And he said, Chabad, like, and I didn't realize the word Chabad until I moved. And now I say Chabad. There's so many things that I do that I picked up. And he said, when you make Aliyah, and it stayed with me, don't expect anything. You not going to expect one thing from anybody. You're going to make it your own. And that is why, for me, I hit the ground running. I didn't come to Israel like, hello, I'm a queen, I'm Jewish, I'm here. I have a feeling
even if he hadn't said that to you, that would have been. I mean, listen, you have an amazing attitude. This is what you're all about.
I mean, I came to Israel to bring an extra layer. I realized that I come to Israel to learn. I've taken jobs. I worked in the West Bank. I've been in the North. I've been in the South. Everything about Israel, I've done things and moved around. Because what? God wanted me to come to Israel to sit on the beach in Tel Aviv, and just smoke some weed and just have a great time?
Also,
no. We do that too. But I came to Israel to be home and to understand how important my spirit is to the Jewish people. I am part of a great. I can't tell you the magnitude of what I'm a part of. I can't express it ever in life. And so I came to bring a level of to expand us. And I don't expect anything from Israel. I came to bring my perspective to Israel. And that is how I've lived my life. People that expect things from Israel are widely disappointed. These people don't care about you coming in. These people have come from. This state was established to give life to the Jewish people, to come home to our ancestral homeland, and I'm a part of that. I'm a piece of that puzzle. Everything about me returning home, I'm like Ruth, let me with my people, Ma. When you people go, I go. So it's very important for me to express that as I go in my life, as I move and shake. And for me, that's very important, Really.
Yeah, I mean, listen, your success is a measure of how amazing your attitude is.
I'm broke like the rest of the world. It's been tough. It's not been easy. I don't want anybody to understand that it's been easy.
That was my next question.
First of all, the state of Israel should pay me. So many of my friends have come because they don't understand my joy. And when they get here, they see my joy. They know, got it. My friend's been here. She's trying to get back to Israel. She said, maybe I should convert to Judaism. I said, Kapata, you can just be a Noahide. Listen, I'm worse than the rabbi. You don't have to be Jewish, honey. You don't want this life. This is something else. I know you can afford to be Jewish. But because being Jewish, let's keep it real. All the holidays and all the Pesachs and all the the wine that I have to drink, that's not cheap, honey. But and yeah, my friends, they understand that. First of all, even my mother, like my brother converted to Islam, so I literally, my mother the other day sent to me a whole makeup. I felt so bad because I had to break her heart. And then she said, "You in the Quran?" I said, "Listen, lady, I'm Jewish. That's my brother Sharif. He is Muslim. She has her own little IP conflict. He's been Muslim for 30 something years. And
she can't keep up.
she's a Sharif and she's a Chaya. Neither one of us were born these ways.
Do
And
you
she's
speak?
struggling to keep, and I have my one brother that's like, he's in LA and he went to USC film school and he's like, my sister Chaya, they're Jewish. I'm like,
Can you
and my
pronounce it?
family understands that, that I don't do anything that doesn't fit for me and it doesn't speak to me. And that is and by the way, my name is Chaya. I am my mother's ninth child. I was born on the 18th. So Chaya
Oh,
is a Shmona Esrei, is 18 in its life. And I chose my name because I felt like after choosing Judaism, my life was rich. And my name is Chaya Shira with an aleph, not an ayin. And it's so riches. Ashira is riches in not money, but in experience. So all these things have been just so like magical for me. And it doesn't sound real to a lot of people. And that's why I don't care what people think. I don't care, not one day. I don't care what anybody thinks about my Judaism. My Judaism, first of all, is, to be honest, between me and my creator. Let's keep it real. But I'm sharing my Judaism. I'm sharing my journey. Anybody that has the honor to hear about my journey, to me, it's a blessing for them. Because
right. So I don't know if
Judaism,
we're live on Instagram right now, but Chaya shares a lot of her journey and her day to
I share
days
all of it.
on Instagram, on TikTok. Tell people where they can find you.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm everywhere. I'm on Brown Sugar Jew.
And it's
And I'm Sukar Yehudia. I'm Brown Sugar Jew. Like and to be black and Jewish in America, let's keep it real, because there's a lot of black Jews that were born Jewish, actually. And I want to, my friend Shoshana, who's actually married to a Ugandan Jew, and they're working. The Ugandan Jews are also trying to come home. They're trying to not even come home to live and be. They're trying to come home to study. But she is born Jewish. Her mother actually lives in the north. Her mother converted to Judaism, or her grandmother converted to Judaism. Back in the day. I don't even know the story. And Shoshana was born Jewish. So she grew up in the conservative movement, in the religious movement in Venice Beach in California. Her mom was a teacher at Venice in Santa Monica College, was a math teacher, made Aliyah. She lives in the north. And Shoshana grew up saying, you know what, maybe I'm going to marry an African Jew. And she married someone from the Ugandan Jewish community. Both of her son, she now has a baby. She just moved to Uganda because she said, I don't want to marry, I don't want to raise my black and Jewish son in America. Okay, let's keep it real. America has their own issues, but because there's so many black Jews that are struggling. First of all, to be black, we were taken from everywhere. There's a Nigerian community, Igbo community, and I'm actually trying to get there. I met them also in Israel. And I'd known their video, and they came in. I was working in a hostel in Tel Aviv, and they came in, Elohim, off the street. And I can't even share enough. I mean, we can go hours. And Hadassah and Kish, and if anybody wants to know, I can share their video. And they're working with the rabbi to get their community, recognized. And they're just a small community in Nigeria. I want to go and be with them this summer. I wanted to go last summer, actually, but of COVID. And they invited me. Many rabbis from Jerusalem have stayed with them. And just all of these moments, because I cried again, because for them to see, like, for me, like, I'm Jewish, but and to see this, and I'm Nigerian, I'm, Igbo, I'm an Igbo woman, and to see Igbo Jews, and to see that, but they're a religious community. They invited me to come. So I want to go and be with them. I want to go and be with them for a couple of months. And it's just so much. I feel like every morning when I'm saying the Shema and I'm saying Modeh, I'm asking God to give me strength to continue on, because there's been many days I'm like, why am I here? What did I do? What did I do? and I want to carry on and be part of this greater shorter sheen of Judaism. And in my sister, my black sisters and brothers that are having struggles because they're trying to get into these communities that say you're not really part of the group, and it's sad. And in Israel, I've never been asked about am I Jewish. I mean, I've been to in my community in Dallas, Temple Shalom and Temple Emmanuel, and even the Chabad with in town Chabad and Rabbi Dabrowski and all those rabbis. They were very accepting. But there's a lot of us, and usually when we convert, the black Jews convert, we come with Torah, like we religious. Haredi, I have Haredi friends, black, that chose Judaism. They're living in Jerusalem, in Gilo, and they're not being accepted. And for me, it's a problem. It's tough. And so in Israel, I haven't had that stress. Thank God. People have just said, you're one of us.
Yeah, it's amazing. What a feeling. Wow.
You're one of us.
Tell our listeners and our watchers, what do you do, practically, what do you do to support yourself? How do you make a living? What do you do your day to day?
By trade, I'm a hairstylist. 20-something years I've been a stylist. Wow. But I worked myself and made a great living. And but I always wanted to be a dancer. I actually wanted to be a dancer since I was little. My mom, once again, I'm the 9th child. My sisters and brothers were in everything. She put us in everything. And someone said the stress is real. I'm watching you guys. I see you guys. I love you guys so much. And COVID-19 support. But I dance saved my life. And I was able to get back on my feet. I've had 4 surgeries. I had a bilateral mastectomy and just a lot of things to get me back to normal. And so dance was a huge component in my healing. So I knew I wanted to bring that to Israel and to uplift women and to uplift my sisters and my brothers. Men are in my class as well. So I'm a dance teacher, and I want to inspire and to tell people, some of us, it's not about, what happened to us. Things happen, people say, I know there's a lot of people that went through the Holocaust and they don't believe in God and they don't, whatever, but God only takes a small point. A lot of it is us. We every year we have to go and say to our neighbor, we're sorry. Mm-hmm. If you're being not nice to your neighbor, that has nothing to do with God. Don't put that on God. That has something to do with you. And so a lot of this thing that we do in life is us. And so I wanted to bring a part of us to our healing, because for all the brachot that we do, it's still, once again, Judaism is an action. It's us. We have to put our foot. We can't just say, oh, Elohim. We have to also do. And so I wanted to do it. So dance is a part of me doing.
Dance. So you're teaching dance, right? Yeah. And you go around to different communities in Israel, or you do it primarily in Aliyah?
I work with the little kids, the Yeladim and the Bet Knesset. I'm working with the older people. I'm working with in the gyms, and hopefully I can continue to do it.
How do you get the word out? How do people find out about you, what you do?
I mean, I dance on the streets. Everybody knows. Literally, people see me with my speaker, and I dance in the streets, and I just do me. I do me.
Where can people find you dancing in the streets?
Yes, I got my job. I worked at Jimmy's Gym in Dizengoff Center. I got my job. Hi guys. I see you right now. Leaving messages. I got my job. I got my job at the gym, dancing on the street, and it's just been piece by piece. I mean, this Chaya dance movement, which is me, has been. It started just from the puppy in the back.
That's my cookie.
Cookie. Oh, yeah.
Cookie.
Yeah.
Say hi. Say hi to Chaya.
Hi, Cookie. Manish. But I wanted to convert. Yes, Hari, Christian, come to convert. Search. I'm not supposed to tell you, but if you're feeling it, search. Do you?
Anyway.
So yeah. So that's what I do. So I teach and
so you're dancing. You're also still doing hair, right?
I do the hair 2 days a week because let's be honest, it's been tough dancing. Listen, I must say it's not lucrative to be yourself and to you know, there's a lot of things to sell, sex and drama and this and that and that. But I've just kind of I've never been worried in Israel, even in Corona when I wasn't working. I've had clients that have kept me working on Zoom little by little, and I've always trusted that I'm going to be okay. And but
Amazing.
dance has definitely been one of the things that has kept me on my toes, for sure.
Right. Literally. Tell us where you live, because you once told me that you wanted to get into where you live and you wanted to give it a shout out. Remember?
So I live in a hostel or a shared living, and I have to say it's been. I wish Nefesh B'Nefesh would place people. I'm all over, guys. I'm all over. Would place people in Exania because there's some type of amazing community that happens. A mix of Israelis here, and I have a private room, and then we share a kitchen. But it has been so great to be with Israelis and to learn and to get not only just conversation but culture and to learn so much about everything. And it's been my life. So I've been in here and there. I was also in my own apartment, and as an American, I was like, oh, I want to stretch out, but being in Israel is about being together.
Mm.
It's togetherness that
How
you
many
can't.
people are in your hostel?
Oh, like 20 something,
Mhm.
and we all
Is it
in the
unique, or
room.
there always just one
It's
installation?
another person that chose Judaism that hi, you live in Ontario, so cute. That also understands it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
So we're
but I'm
in
the
Tel Aviv.
loudest. Let's keep it real. I'm the loudest of everybody. I'm the loudest, and I'm the
It has
everything,
to
and
be.
you know, I'm the toughest. And the Israelis call me Hazakah.
Ooh, green bug. Okay,
Yeah.
if you want to leave one piece of advice with others who are kind of on the fence, people like you, pretend you're talking to people just like yourself, who are considering making Aliyah. What would you tell them? And let's say, okay, first, what would you tell people who are considering it, debating whether they should do it, and then we'll get into what you would tell people who are actually going to get on a plane soon and live. So,
I would tell anyone that's interested in coming home to come home and come home with Nefesh B'Nefesh, which was very, very important for me.
by the way,
But when you
people
do,
don't have a choice; they have to come home with us. I'm just saying.
yes, well, you have your
We
minds.
have a monopoly
But
on
if you do
Aliyah from
come
North
home,
America.
um, realize that this Judaism and us as a people, we're like a big patchwork blanket with many different stories and many different patches, and we all don't look the same. But once you stitch us together, we become one.
Well, we look
When you come,
pretty similar. Do you think you and I look alike? No, no.
yes, girl,
Oh,
we looking
all
like
right.
even our glasses are.
Yeah.
But when they come home,
Mhm.
thank you from Mumbai, India. I love you so much. Thank you for joining. When they come home, they must know that their journey and their their walk here is unique, and they must create their own path. And creating your own path means being patient, being prepared for the letdowns, but staying on the path. I've had so many moments that I was like, oh, I dropped my shoulder, but I knew that I was supposed to be here and I knew that it was important. And that's why I'm still here because
Amazing.
I trusted the process. And making Aliyah is not, everybody wants to come here and they think this is the land of milk and honey. No, this is the land of milk and money. Toda rava. I mean, va. יאללה, 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 עברית, יס! אני טוב בעברית וגם אני לקרוא עברית, אבל יש לי בעיה עם אני לא מדברת טוב, אבל לאט לאט,
Not
okay?
bad. You sound pretty
But
good.
give yourself time. Give
Yeah.
yourself time to be, because come on, it's Pesach and we, yes, yes, Kay, yes, אני ראיתי אותך. But give yourself time, because our people left Egypt in haste. And girl, we wandered around a lot. I call us the wandering Jews for 40 years. And you want to come to Israel and you want to Voila. No. Part of journey and why I believe Hashem puts it there is to allow us to grow in our space. And that's it. So if you come, just come and be and enjoy every piece and enjoy the Israeli people who are in their own right, magnificent, have their own beautiful stories, and take these stories and grow and be a part of. Hey guys. Hello, darling. Me say.
Tell them to come say hi.
Come say hello. Alex Ugame Asa Aliyah. Meifo.
I'm from Russia.
Merusi.
Hello, darling.
Hello.
What is your name?
My name is Nefesh B'Nefesh. My name is Shara Shitri. Nice to meet you.
He also made Aliyah. He's one of my roommates. So, Alex,
Nice.
Alex, don't get comfortable. You see?
אז מה שלומך, נשמה טובה?
לא, נו, באמת, אני, you see, with the Rusim, you have to be Kafkaz, ממש Kafkaz. Caucasian, נכון? This is a real Caucasian. For all of the Americans, this is a Caucasian. He's probably going to be my husband.
Woman. You talk too much.
He's one of my best friends. Okay, Alex, yalla. Bye. I love you. Bye, yalla. Bye. Let me pull.
Woman, no replace.
Oh, no. Bye, Alex. I love you. Bye, Booba. So, you have these moments, guys. I just where you just let people be, and we just in a community, and it's just amazing. And I have to once again thank Nefesh B'Nefesh, and it's been time. Sharona Stanhill, I don't know if you know Sharona.
Yeah.
She was one of my advisors also, and I'm still like, she just was so awesome and so open and so helpful. Nefesh B'Nefesh many times has been so helpful for me. But also, I didn't always run to Nefesh B'Nefesh. I wanted to struggle a bit. I wanted to Kapata, people came before me, and they came to this country, and I had a story of my friend who said his parents came from, I think, the Ukraine, and they didn't have 30 shekel. Listen to me, they came with. Mm-hmm. And 30 shekel, and they made a mini empire from 30 shekel. I feel it. I want to be part of that. I don't want to come. I want to be part of the movement of I came here and I built. This for me is Aliyah.
Right.
I cannot come
you feel
here.
The energy, right?
For sure. For sure.
You're contributing to that energy for sure.
And also Alex, I'm never speaking to him in English. He's speaking to me in Hebrew. Just the connection with people. Mm-hmm. My people, every day I'm in awe. I wake up and I'm thankful. I tell God, thank you for letting me wake up in Israel. And then I go outside and someone says, new bandmates, right, God,
And then they invite you for Shabbat meal, right?
Of course. My son, when he came on Taglit, he came and he got lost. And in America, every day I can barely sleep for him, being where he is for various reasons. And he got lost, and someone offered him food and charged his phone. And this is Israel. And we may scream and holler and fuss and fight. We may not stand in lines. We may cut in lines. I mean, Kapata, we don't need to stand in lines. We've done enough. But when it comes together, we bind together like only the Jewish people can. That's it. Right. That's it.
Right. How does your son feel? We'll end with this, but I'm curious to know how your son feels about you being here.
It's tough.
Do you think he'll ever make Aliyah?
I think he will make it, but I think he will do it for me, and I think that's not okay. Because Israel, you cannot be in Israel for anybody other than yourself. You can't make it for your family. You can't make it for your friends. You can't make it for your partner. You can't make it for your job. It's very much like Judaism. You must do it, the choice for you. Right. And so I hope he's been here twice, and I'm just praying, Ani Mikava, that if he comes for 1 year, that he, his heart is expanded. But it's hard because he's young and he wants to. But I know, girl, I want my grandchildren to be Israeli.
Right? Wouldn't that be wild?
That's my dream. So,
Amazing.
I mean, I'm
Thank
just
you
keeping it real.
so much, Chaya.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for
Thank
joining us. This has been,
you guys so
it's
much.
been a wild ride. I'm happy to be a small part of it. And really, it's such a treat to be able to talk to you like this
Thank you
and
guys
share it
so
with the
much.
world.
Thank you guys for listening. I know it's a lot, and I know I was all over the place, and we had Alex, the crazy Russian Caucasian, come together. But I want to say that, you know, first of all, my grandmother was a Zionist, and believe it or not, my dad's side, and I am too. And I know for a lot of people, especially in the U.S., Zionism is a dirty word, and it's because people don't know what Zionism is. And I'm not going to take this moment and cloud it. And they can follow so many, Rudy Israel, Hin Mazig, myself. There's so many of us trying to speak out. But if you come to Israel, come and enjoy just being Jewish. The buses, people saying Shabbat Shalom, Hag Sameach.
Yeah.
Come and enjoy being a Jew in our ancestral homeland. And I know I came late to the party, and I know, the Jews were exiting
Never too
Mizraim.
late.
Miriam was shaking this, but I came right on time, and I was running, going, "Let me with my people," and
Let me in.
let me in. When you come, just come and be with your people. Just come and understand that Jews were tribes of many and many customs, and there's not one that is better than the other. We together, and if we not arguing about whose shakshuka is the best and about whose hummus is the best, we're actually not Jewish. We must argue and we must fight over it. And if you want to come here and you want to be without trouble and without problem and without drama, then you don't need to be here.
Right.
Part of being here is seeing why the Jews, wandered for 40 years. Why? Because maybe Hashem said all of the old, Eged, the old slaves need to die off in the desert so that we can have new thoughts and new processes. And that's what making Aliyah is about. It's about being new and fresh and bringing something, another layer of wondering, if you must. So
This is
that's my
perfect
prayer.
right before Passover. Thank you very, very much. And a happy
Thank you.
Passover. Chag Kasher
Chag
Sameach.
Sameach, Pesach Sameach
Enjoy.
L'Kunal. Thank you so much, Passover Sameach, and I hope you all have that movement, and I hope the freedom, and I hope the slavery that it was in our mind doesn't. I hope we can escape our own bondage, because sometimes slavery is inside of ourselves, and I hope everyone takes this time for Pesach to be free. Pesach Sameach.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
I love you. Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure. And for
Thank you so
everybody that
much for
was
doing this.
leaving a message, I love you so much. Shalom, shalom.
Bye. If anybody wants to go check out, wait, this way. Go check out Chaya Lev, BrownSugarJew22, TikTok, Instagram. Are you on YouTube?
All of that.
Facebook.
Yeah, everybody. I'm Chaya Lev.
Now you're on YouTube because
I love you guys. Have a good one. Let's talk some.